Moto is at it again and again and then again. So what are we talking about? Motorola has launched a new phone, Motorola G4 Play, at a price of 9,000 rupees exclusively on Amazon.in. With this phone and Moto E3, which is going to be launched in few days, Motorola has new lineup of devices from 7,000 rupees all the way to 15,000 rupees. They all have the same motto: high price, low value and good software experience. Hi there guys, this is Nikhil from GreedyTech and this is a complete review of Moto G4 Play. Now that you know about Moto's motto, let me just give you a little background information. Moto, also called as Motorola, is now acquired by Lenovo, so in a way, now it's a Chinese company too. Even after the acquisition, there aren't many changes. At least there are no changes in terms of what they offer. Moto G4 Play is priced at 9,000 rupees and surprisingly, it has the same specs of Xiaomi Redmi 2 Prime, launched a year ago. So is it bad? Come, let's find out. From the initial impressions, it looks exactly like the Moto G4. Though it looks the same, build quality is actually better than G4 and the G4 Plus. We still have the oddly looking microphone hole on the face, which I personally hate, but because of the black variant, it's almost hidden all the time. So if anyone wants my suggestion about the color, go with the black. On the front we have a 5-inch HD display with 294 ppi. As it's a 5-inch display, you can't see the pixels easily. It's not bright enough in direct sunlight, but the colors and viewing angles are pretty good. We don't have any screen gestures like the double tap to wake on this device, but they added the one-handed mode, which reduces the screen size. I think 5-inch device is fairly small these days, but for someone who wants a much smaller screen for one-handed use, this mode will be handy. It's implemented very intuitively and coming out of this mode is very easy too. We also have the famous glance view which wakes up the device when you pick it up. It's super cool and sometimes annoying when it wakes up unnecessarily. These are the only two additional software features apart from the stock Android experience. Yes, we are missing the gestures from the Moto G4, G4 Plus. On top of the display we have the front-facing 5-megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture, proximity and ambient sensors. In terms of sensors, it's lacking gyroscope and compass. Like all the recent Moto phones, we have the single front-facing speaker on the top. Though it lacks in quality, it's loud enough. As it's on the front, it gives us better experience than all the phones that have the speaker at the bottom and back like the Redmi Note 3 and the Redmi 3S and the 3S Prime. On the top we have the audio jack and the audio experience was okay, nothing impressive or disappointing. We also get earphones in the box, which is definitely a hit and a miss. If they really wanted to give us earphones, they should have given us something usable. Build quality is poor and audio quality is bad. On the right we have the volume rockers and the power buttons. These are metal buttons and have a nice tactile feel to them. Power button has a nice texture to it that keeps it apart from the volume buttons. Left side of the phone is completely plain. At the bottom we have the micro USB charging port and the entire phone is held together by a metal rim which seems pretty strong. So if you drop the phone, it takes majority of the impact. Metal rim is slightly raised even on the front, so whenever you place the phone on a flat surface, you don't have to worry about scratching it. On the back we have the removable plastic case with nice texture and water repellent coating, which houses the 8-megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture, single LED flash and the famous Moto dimple. Even the camera module is protected by a raised metal frame that protects it from scratching. So in terms of design, Motorola has done an amazing job to protect your device. Yes, it doesn't look all that pretty, but it was made with all the love and care. And coming to the camera performance, just like the Moto G4, G4 Plus, G4 Play does a pretty good job. In comparison with Redmi 3S, it slightly falls back. It's not the best in the price range, but still a good one. These are some sample shots and for more information, check out my camera review. Underneath the plastic panel we have the removable 2800 mAh battery, which can be charged from 10% to 100% in just 90 minutes. It doesn't have any fast charging. We get a 10 watts charger along with the phone, which Moto likes to call rapid charger. Considering the smaller battery size and normal charging rates, it's nothing impressive. But the phone does get hot while charging. Yes, noticeably hot. I have used this phone as a regular user. I got a screen on time of 3 to 4 hours and mostly more than 3.5 hours of screen on time. And yes, you can survive a day with this phone due to the software optimization and the DOS feature from Android Marshmallow. Battery compartment of the phone houses 2 SIM card slots and an SD card slot. Both the SIM card slots support 4G, but you can use only one SIM with 4G at a time. We have VoLTE support for this phone, so we can use the GeoSIM to make calls without enabling mobile data. Call quality over 2G and 3G were normal, and calls over VoLTE was pretty good. The phone supports SD cards up to 256GB. I tried it with my 32GB SD card and it works without any problem. We also have OTG support, FM radio, and for anyone who is wondering, we don't have the option to move applications to the SD card. But if you manage to root it, we can move apps to the SD card, and rooting does void your warranty. So you have been warned. Under the hood, G4 Play sports an old Snapdragon 410 processor with Adreno 306 GPU, 2GB of RAM and 16GB of internal storage, of which you get about 10GB for your user apps. These are the benchmark scores from Antutu, Geekbench and few other. Due to the stock Android and the software optimizations from Motorola, everything was very smooth and fluid with no heating issues. But when you run heavy applications like Facebook or a game in the background, phone gets slightly slow. Gaming experience was pretty good. I tried all the new and bigger titles like Asphalt 8 and Modern Combat 5. Entire gameplay was very smooth, and in intense situations, the area near the camera and the top half of the display became hot. So you can do some light gaming without any heating issues. But as this device sports a HD screen and a low power processor and CPU, visuals aren't that great. So I'm not complaining, just telling you once again. Moto G4 Play ships with the latest Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow out of the box. This is vanilla Android, so we don't have anything new, but what's supposed to work works flawlessly. The two main highlighting features of Marshmallow, Now on Tap and DOS features, works as expected. There simply isn't anything more to tell about the software. It's simple and it works very smoothly. But if you have used phones with skinned UIs, say Samsung, Sony, Xiaomi, La Echo or even Lenovo, you might miss some basic customizations. In terms of user experience, there are no flaws to this phone. Everything works as a budget phone supposed to work. So should you buy it? Now that's a tricky question. Normally I wouldn't recommend this phone, but there are things that this phone alone can do. You have dual SIM option with dedicated SD card support. So if you're interested in the Geo network, or if you want a dual SIM phone with SD card support, this fills that requirement. If you're interested in the Geo network, you can use the GeoSIM and a regular 2G or 3G SIM for backup. We have better phones like Redmi 3S, Redmi Note 3, but can't use dual SIMs and the SD card at the same time. We have stock Android experience, which is definitely very good. Next we have front-facing speakers, removable battery, and water-resistant coating. So all are pretty good. By the way, here's a note from Motorola about the water-repellent coating or the nano coating. It protects against moderate exposure to water such as accidental spills, splashes or light rain. It's not designed to be submerged in water or exposed to pressurized water or other liquids. Not waterproof. So Motorola, in a way it's a good thing, but it's nothing to be too hyped about. So this phone is an ideal phone for basic users in this price range. It's a combination of what people look for the most. So for regular people who want to use a stable phone that works smoothly, who are not interested in a fingerprint scanner or the IR blaster or all the software tweaks and customizations, you can definitely buy it. But for someone looking for value for money or software and hardware features like fingerprint scanner, IR blaster, like the ones offered in Redmi 3S Prime, or 3GB of RAM which are offered in phones like Lenovo K5 Plus and the Coolpad Note 3, this might not be sufficient for you. Well, if it comes to me, I am usually a performance junkie and I was perfectly happy using it as a regular phone. And this might raise a question, how does Nikhil use his phone? Well, there's a video on that coming up soon, so stay tuned for it. So that's pretty much it for this video guys. I hope you found this video to be helpful and slightly entertaining, or at least informative. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you have any doubts, feel free to leave a comment below this video. If you have any feedback, do the same. If you haven't subscribed to our channel already, do subscribe and share it with your friends. And this is Nikhil from GreedyTech. Stay tuned and I'll catch up with you in my next video. Until then, have a nice day.